Story 1, The Shape in the Driveway. Fog rolled in so fast that night it looked like someone had flipped a switch. One minute I could see the end of our street, the stop sign, the maple tree on the corner, the faint glow from Mrs. Daly's porch light. Next minute, everything beyond our driveway just disappeared. It wasn't normal fog. It was thick. Heavy. Kind that presses against your windows and swallows sound. My wife, Rachel, was upstairs putting our 6-year-old to bed. I was in the kitchen rinsing out a coffee mug when I noticed how quiet it had gotten. Too quiet. We live in a small Pennsylvania town. Even at night, you hear something, a car in the distance, wind moving through trees, dog barking 3 streets over. That night, nothing. I walked over to the window above the sink and wiped a circle into the condensation. That's when I saw it. There was someone standing at the end of our driveway. At first, I thought it was just a shadow playing tricks on me. The longer I stared, the more defined it became: tall, narrow shoulders, arms hanging straight down. Not moving. Just standing there. Facing the house. I squinted, trying to make out details, but the fog distorted everything. It blurred the edges of the figure like a smudge on a camera lens. "Rachel?" I called out. No answer. I opened the front door. Cold hit me immediately. Damp and metallic. "Hey!" I shouted into the fog. No response. The figure didn't move. It didn't react. I stepped off the porch, heart thudding in my chest. Gravel crunched under my shoes. I made it halfway down the driveway before I realized something was wrong. It wasn't standing on the street. It was standing in our driveway. And it was closer than I thought. Maybe 10 feet away now. I stopped walking. "Can I help you?" I asked, trying to sound calm. Fog shifted slightly, swirling around its legs. Then, slowly, unnaturally slowly, it tilted its head to the side. That's when I felt it. That sinking, ice-cold sensation in your stomach that tells you something isn't human. Not in the literal monster sense. But wrong. Like it didn't belong there. I blinked, just for a second, and when my eyes focused again, it was gone. The driveway was empty. I stood there, frozen, my breath fogging in front of me. "Dad?" My daughter's voice came from the porch behind me. I nearly jumped out of my skin. She was standing in the doorway, clutching her stuffed rabbit. "Who are you talking to?" she asked. I turned back toward the driveway. "No one," I said automatically. She looked past me into the fog. "Why is that man back?" Blood drained from my face. "What man?" "The one who stands outside my window." I didn't sleep that night. I stayed in her room with a baseball bat while the fog pressed against the glass. Around 3:12 a.m., a motion light in the driveway flicked on. There was no one there. But something was standing close enough to trigger it. And it stayed on. For the rest of the night. Story 2, The Road That Wasn't There. I used to deliver medical supplies between rural clinics in northern Oregon. It was a quiet job, long stretches of empty highway, forests on both sides, radio static fading in and out. One November night, I was driving back from a late drop-off when the fog started building. At first it was light. Then it thickened. Then it swallowed the road whole. I slowed to 30 miles an hour. The trees vanished. The road lines disappeared. It felt like driving through blank space. My GPS lost signal. Recalculating, it said over and over. Then it went silent. No signal. No service. Nothing. That's when I noticed headlights in my rearview mirror. Relief washed over me. At least I wasn't alone. The car behind me kept a steady distance. Not too close. Not too far. Every time I slowed down, it slowed too. Every time I sped up slightly, it matched me. After about 10 minutes, I started to feel uneasy. I should have reached the highway junction by then. Instead, the road just kept going. Straight. Endless. The headlights behind me flickered once. Then twice. Then they went out completely. My rearview mirror showed nothing but fog. I swallowed hard. Okay, I muttered. That's fine. Probably turned off. But there were no turnoffs. No side roads. Just trees, invisible, but I knew they were there. Then something strange happened. Fog ahead thinned for just a second. And I saw a road sign. It wasn't one I recognized. Lettering looked old. Faded. Almost peeling. It read, "Turn back." No highway number. No town name. Just that. I blinked. Sign was gone. My headlights flickered. Then my engine cut out. Silence. Car rolled to a stop. I tried the ignition. Nothing. No clicking. No cranking. Just dead. That's when I heard tires crunching on gravel behind me. Headlights turned on in my rearview mirror. The same car. It was back. This time it wasn't keeping distance. It was close. Too close. I couldn't make out the driver. Just a dark silhouette. They flashed their high beams. Once. Twice. Then they started honking. Long, aggressive blasts. I felt panic rising in my throat. I locked the doors. The car behind me inched forward. Closer. Closer. Until it was inches from my bumper. Then it stopped. The horn stopped. The headlights shut off again. Complete darkness. Then a knock on my driver's side window. I nearly screamed. I turned slowly. There was no one there. The knock came again. From the passenger side. Then from the back window. Moving around the car. Circling it. Slowly. I couldn't see anything outside. The fog was too thick. Then, suddenly, my dashboard lit up. The engine roared back to life on its own. I didn't hesitate. I slammed it into drive and hit the gas. The car behind me was gone. The fog began to thin as I sped forward. Within 30 seconds, I burst out onto the actual highway junction I'd been expecting. Clear skies. No fog. Just empty road. I pulled over and checked my mirrors. There were no tire tracks behind me. No side roads. Nothing. To this day, I don't take night deliveries in fog. And sometimes, when I'm driving alone at night, I check my rearview mirror. Just in case those headlights come back. Story 3, Night It Knocked. We moved into my grandmother's old house after she passed away. It sat at the edge of a small lake in upstate New York. Peaceful. Isolated. Perfect for a fresh start. The first week was normal. The second week, the fog started coming in every night around 11 p.m. Like clockwork. It rolled off the lake in thick waves and wrapped around the house until you couldn't see 10 feet past the porch. One night, my boyfriend Alex stepped outside to grab something from his truck. He was gone longer than expected. When he came back in, he looked pale. "You ever notice how quiet it gets?" he asked. "Yeah," I said. "It's the lake." "No," he whispered. "It's not natural." I laughed it off. Until the knocking started. 3 soft knocks on the front door. 11:47 p.m. Alex froze. "Are you expecting someone?" "No." We checked the peephole. Nothing but fog. He opened the door. No one there. The porch was empty. Next night, it happened again. 3 knocks. 11:47 p.m. This time we didn't open it. We just listened. After about 30 seconds, there were 3 knocks on the back door. My heart started racing. We didn't move. The third night, we prepared. Lights off. Curtains drawn. Waiting. 11:47 p.m. Knock. 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 Alex grabbed a flashlight and threw the door open. Fog poured inside like smoke. He stepped out onto the porch. "I don't see anyone," he said. Then he stopped talking. "Alex?" I whispered. He didn't answer. I stepped outside behind him. The fog was thicker than ever. "Alex?" Then I saw him. He was standing at the edge of the yard, facing the lake, completely still. "Alex, what are you doing?" He didn't respond. I walked toward him. Halfway across the yard, I noticed something in the fog near the waterline. Shape. Tall. Thin. Standing just above the surface of the lake. It looked like it was standing on the water, watching us. Alex took a step forward. "Alex, stop." He didn't react. He kept walking. Toward the lake. Toward that thing. I grabbed his arm and yanked him back. His body felt rigid. Tense. Like he was in a trance. The shape in the fog moved. Not walking. Gliding. Closer. I felt the air change. Colder. Heavy. "Go inside," I whispered. The knocking started again. Behind us. On the front door. 3 knocks. Even though we were outside. I dragged Alex back toward the house. The shape in the fog stopped at the edge of the yard. Watching. Waiting. We ran inside and locked every door. Knocking continued for 5 full minutes. Front door. Back door. Side windows. 3 knocks each time. Then silence. The fog lifted at exactly midnight. Like it had a timer. Next morning, Alex didn't remember going outside. He said he felt like he'd been dreaming. We installed cameras. For 3 nights, nothing happened. On the 4th night, we checked the footage. At 11:47 p.m., something emerged from the fog near the lake. It didn't walk. It elongated, stretching upward like smoke forming a body. Then it moved toward the house. The camera at the front porch cut to static at 11:47 exactly. The audio, though, kept recording. 3 clear knocks. But here's the part that made us leave. At 11:48 p.m., 1 minute after the knocking stopped, the audio picked up a voice. It sounded like Alex. Soft. Whispering. "Let me in." We moved out 2 weeks later. The house is still empty. And every year around November, when the fog rolls across the lakes near where we live now, I find myself checking the clock. Because sometimes, without realizing it, I wake up at 11:47 p.m. and I swear I can hear knocking. 3 soft knocks. Waiting.
Do subscribe for more this type of stories.